So for those who are not able to be present at the moment, they would be able to, once they log into the LMS, that is at achlp.org, they'll be able to follow the proceedings, they watch the recordings, view the presentations,
yes,
as well as get and access the certificate. So for having said that, Catherine, I would suggest, I have a lot of confidence in you, and I know you'll be able to take us through. You've been with us for many years. You know the works, you know how it goes. I would suggest we start, and you'll conclude the training. I'll speak tomorrow towards the end of this particular training. Let me say that this training is part of the HR Bado. This is our last HR Bado in 2021. In HR Bados, we give outrageous discounts. But the reason we do that is to ensure that as many as possible HR professionals are able to access their continuous professional development points with ease and without stress. That's the role we play. All our training programs are accredited by with IHRM, and for this particular training, this collaborative management, which is a 2-day program, forming part of the wider HR Bado, which has 3 courses, each course being 2 points, total HR Bado 6 CPD points, is one of those, is one of the approved courses in the Bado. Catherine, allow me to nikuachie usukani so that you take us through collaborative management. And the purpose or the choice of this particular program, as it is, I was taking a very interesting topic in the CHRP classes, that is the HR accounting, where, among other things, I learned that the HR of today is an enabler, not a doer. And one way of achieving success as a HR professional would be to create collaborations and partnerships with the line managers, top management, the staff, the trade union, so that the purpose of this collaboration would be for you to operate smoothly. It's especially if you go to the line managers, they are the implementers of the HR policies. Now, if you conflict, if there is no collaboration with these people or with all these stakeholders, chances are, therefore, all your HR initiatives, interventions, and programs will be viewed with a lot of suspicion, and well, you might not succeed. I hope, Catherine, you can see that at least I learned something.
You're on the way to success. Bravo. I will definitely tell Obonyo the way came preaching. Preach on. I think that's very profound, and that's the right thing. Yeah. Collaboration is key. HR needs to partner more. I saw the new trends of HR the other day. Really, one of the strong pillars is collaboration, no doubt about it. So thank you, Dan. We appreciate you taking us, putting all this together as a one bundle for us to be able to come and learn, not just earn CPD points. I think that's not the purpose. It's important, yes, indeed, for us to keep our licenses going, but I think it's more for us to network, come and learn, share experiences, and go out better to be able to support the organizations we work with, or just at the marketplace, whether you're working or whether you're in business. whether you're a student. I think that's the most important thing, and just being able to support each other and network, where I can call upon someone and say, well, we met at this training. Can you help me with this? Because I heard you're in this industry and I need help there. I think that continues to be one of the key and primary pillars as to why we are here. So very warm welcome to Perpetua, Paula, Jane, and Wanja. Small little intimate class as we are right now. And as other people join or as we go along, I would ask that we continue sharing your experiences, unmuting yourself, learning, and just making sure that we can come out really stronger. And I keep on saying that iron sharpens iron. So who'd like to pray for us before we start? And then we can introduce ourselves because we're pretty few. Anyone, one of us? Thank you, Jane, welcome. Thank you, everyone. Someone to pray for us? Jane, would you like to pray for us?
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. All right, so let's pray. Father, in the name of Jesus, we come before you this morning. We thank you for your goodness and your mercy. We thank you, Lord, for the privilege to be in this class right now and to just learn these new things, Lord. We are praying for just quickened heart and spirit to be able to just grasp these new concepts all and help us to use them appropriately where we need to use them, even to make better HR. We thank you. We pray for the others who are supposed to be joining, that they will be able to join us and help us to have a beautiful session, interactive, beautiful session. We thank you. We bless you. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Jane. Fantastic. Thank you very much. It's always nice to start
Asante.
with a word of prayer. Gratitude, no matter what religion you come from. So we all pray to one higher God who has really kept us alive. Well done. Thank you. So maybe some introductions. Who'd like to move everybody then, please, to panelists to be able to unmute themselves. Maybe just say hello. We are few. My name is so-and-so. I work in this industry, you know, and your expectations for today. We have a real great program ahead of us. 2-day part series on collaboration management. Who would think that it would take us 2 days to go through this training? Anyone? Just come in, say hello, unmute yourself, say hello, from which industry, what you plan to learn here. Anyone? Anyone? Paula, Jane, Perpetua, Wanja, Grace, Patrick, Roslyn, Benjamin.
I may as well say something after praying.
Yes, thank you.
All right, my name is Jane Mikwa. I'm happy to be here. Currently, I'm not working, looking for a job, but want to keep developing myself so that I'm not left behind. So my expectation today, I want to be able to learn what this is all about. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Jane. And learning what all this is all about, collaborative management. We'll be looking at some of the highlights around processes, definitions, tools that we can use to collaborate. When's a good time to collaborate? Are you a great collaborator? So things like those. Yeah, thank you. You're at the right place. And yeah, if you're looking for a job, we are all here to support you. So, and sometimes you do hear those jobs, and I'm sure maybe you hear them as well. So let's continue at it. Someone else? Our expectations for today, please.
Hello.
Hello, Grace.
Yes, good morning.
Morning.
I'm Grace. I'm calling from Nyamira.
Ooh, fantastic.
I work as the payroll at the same time attached to the Ministry of Health. My expectation, I learn more things about HR because HR is all about continuous learning. And I wish all the participants good of luck.
Thank you. I hope everything is good in Nyamira. Keeping safe,
okay.
you know, the third wave is there with you guys, and you being in the Ministry of Health, we really wish you well, and I hope you're keeping safe. We are here to support all of us, yeah. And as you have said in HR, we never stop learning. We're always learning new things, you know, because people are different. People come in different packages, and every morning people throw different curveballs at you, and you wonder, was it the same person I saw yesterday? And today what's happening? And you need to navigate yourself through that. So really self-awareness and emotional intelligence. Someone else? Unmute yourself, say hello. Your expectations for today in this seminar, in this webinar? Seminar, webinar, anyone else?
Hello, Catherine, good morning.
Morning, Benjamin.
Thank you very much. My name is Benjamin Kisang. I work with Kenya Port Authority, Wilson Airport as a human resource officer. My expectation for this morning training is how can we collaborate departments and sections so that we can have a one team that can achieve the common goal of Kenya Ports Authority. So I want to see how this collaborative management, you can bring marketing, HR, operations, safety together so that they can pull together in the one direction. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Benjamin. And well, your organization continues to be a key stakeholder in the safety of the aviation industry. And one of the things is that your organization is pretty large, sitting in various centers or various towns. So how do you make sure that the HR in Kisumu Airport is speaking the same language with the one at JKIA? How do you synergize that? You collaborate together and to meet the objectives of the organization. I like that. I think we could also have people here maybe who work for multinationals, that our head office is in Europe, for example, and we have an office here in Kenya. How do we just make sure that the synergies and we are speaking one language? You know, there is no disconnect within that, and of course it comes through communication and that kind of stuff. Yeah. So well, thank you, Benjamin. Someone else?
Thank you, Catherine.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. Yeah. Someone else?
Hi, Catherine. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks. Hi, Paula.
Hi. My name is Pauline. I work for a church organization and I've come to learn more. I know we have already been doing it, but now to put the professional angle in terms of collaboration. I work in a campus where there's a school, there's a catering unit, there's a church that calls for a lot of collaboration.
It does. Yeah, thanks, Paula. And one of the things that we keep on saying is that sometimes we can be extremely very cautious when we work in a faith-based organization, you know, because we all think that we are supposed to ascribe to one thing, you know, being who we are and not step on toes and whatever. But the other day I had the privilege, and let me say this, I had the privilege of training a staff in a faith-based organization, actually a church. And I was saying that the church is not the building. Sorry to preach. The church is not the building. And Pauline, you will bear with me. The church is me and you. You know, the church is me and you. So whatever, and that's why I said even after Grace prayed, is that we ascribe to one God, the higher being. But the church is me and you. So when we put that, then we come and work with my skill and my competencies and everything. And if I go wrong and there are policies and whatever, sometimes we are so, you know, how do we deal with this and how are we going to do it? So sometimes we just don't put it in the straight and narrow way, when balls drop in the faith-based organizations, because we just think, well, let's give second chances, and people start just thinking, well, I can do what I want. But once we have those capabilities of saying, who are we? What am I supposed to do? What is my brief here? And how do I want to make sure that I'm successful and everybody is successful? One of them is through collaboration. So thank you, Paula. We'll be borrowing some examples from you from time to time. Anyone else before we start? Anyone else? Anyone else would like to, the expectations? When you looked at the objective of our seminar, anyone? Yeah, okay, great. So I'll facilitate, and facilitating is just facilitating. It doesn't mean that when I put together the wealth of experience from all of us, we can almost get to maybe 100 years, not even 100 years. If all of us are coming with 15 years of work experience or thereabouts, I mean, when we put it all together, and if we are larger, then it's hundreds and hundreds of years that we put together, and those experiences mean something for all of us. So my name is Catherine Wamwangi. For those who have not met me before, I work very closely with ACHRP. We've worked with them for many years now. I enjoy training. I enjoy facilitating. I enjoy sharing knowledge and experiences. And I like also when people participate and unmute themselves and share their experiences within the confinement of the discussion that we're taking into consideration that is how we learn, because adults learn when they want to learn. And we have seen the 70-20-10 model of working really works well with adults, and it continues to be the best way of learning, even either when you send your people for training out, or even when you are training people internally. And of course, virtual learning has become the new norm. You know, we are not going to get out of here anytime soon. It's almost replaced the face-to-face. Of course, we know face-to-face was really nice, very engaging, you know, and could take a longer time, but because of fatigue of being online all the time, then we try and make it short, precise, and where it is. And that's what I keep on saying, let us learn. So I'm a HR practitioner. I'm also an executive coach. I coach at various levels, individual levels, executive level, and also at corporate level. And I also lecture at the College of Human Resources. I don't know whether any one of you has met me there. I will, if you meet there, then I will be lecturing in the topic of coaching, which I'm so passionate about. So that's me. And you can always contact me. You can always unmute yourself as we go along. Okay. So when collaboration, I'm thinking, do we even collaborate in this country the way we're supposed to be collaborating? Do we collaborate as a society? Do we collaborate as HR practitioners? You know, do we collaborate at our places of work? And just even at a family unit, how much do we collaborate to be able to get to the next stage of where we want to be? A simple example is this week, the budget is going to be read today. You know, when if you're about my age and it's nice when it's face to face, I could tell this person is this many years old or something like that. If you're about my age, then budget reading in the old days was a whole day's affair. In fact, it was a whole month's affair. We were building up to it, you know, listening. When we were in campus, we were thinking, well, budget is coming, what is going to happen, and bread will be increased. You know, bread is bread is life. Whoever invented bread, oh my gosh, bread, whatever, increased bread. We knew bread was going to be increased. Cigarettes were going to be increased. Alcohol was going to be increased, the prices and stuff like that. And of course, now the taxes. Now, not many people pay attention to the budget because we think that it's just one of the things. And I remember the other day, just taking a bit of interest and saying what is really going to be read in this budget, given the much debt that we have in the country. Then all of a sudden, and you had, is the MP said, we don't have the budget, and there is a budget committee in parliament, and the two people who had the budget committee said that they didn't have the budget committee. Lack of collaboration between the ministry and the treasury and parliament, and they're the ones who should be looking line for line. In fact, if anything, maybe they should have been looking at the national budget, like from January, looking at it, saying this line item, where is it going to be? Is it important and stuff like that? The only thing they wanted to see, our good old MPs, was whether they have CDF money. You remember? And then that's the time I stopped reading and I stopped collaborating with them. So I'm just waiting for the CS Yatani to read his budget and to see how it is, and move on, because it's not anything new. It might just increase some bit of more money here and there, expenses and stuff like that. So you see, even at national level, collaboration is key. And sometimes it gets broken, and who gets the blame for it? So we also have those kind of experiences, and we can talk about them as we go along. Yeah. Any question, any input there? Your thoughts about today's budget and the MPs, what you think? Anyone? Economists in the house, or just your take around the area of collaboration there as I share my screen, as I bring up my presentation? Anyone? Anyone? Can you see my screen? Share. Can see my screen now? Someone tell me yes. Just unmute yourself and you can hear me well.
Yes, I can see your screen.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah. And what do you think about collaboration from a budget level?
Catherine?
Yes.
Yeah, your screen is visible, but you please do make it a slideshow.
I have, yeah. You can see that? Yeah,
very beautiful.
Great. Okay, great. So collaboration management, look at that beautiful figure, everybody trying to piece in the puzzle together. What do you see there? What can you say? What comes to mind when you see that? What comes to mind? Hello. Yeah.
Yes. This is Grace.
Yeah.
I like this training, because collaboration is actually all about everybody working together to at least achieve something. But again, in terms of people working together to achieve something, there are those that are there to distract. Like I'm seeing a guy is busy pushing the cards away from the one that is on top, so that maybe he can fall or something. And then there's another one busy pushing it to go where it's supposed to be. So collaboration, and then there's another one up there helping the other woman to fix whatever it can be fixed, so that it can work well.
Yeah.
And then there's another one like instructing, put it here so that it can be well, put it like this. But I'm seeing it won't be well, because the other side that is supposed to be fixed from the other end is facing the other direction. And then there's another one that is just busy looking at what are these people doing. So collaboration is all about working together as a team, so that you can be smart in your objectives, smart in terms of you set measurable, realistic, time-bound, and everything that entails smart. So they're working together, but there are those that are not working with them. So collaboration is all about accommodating everybody in the management, so that at least you can achieve something. That is my take.
Exactly. Thank you, Grace, for really elaborating and really putting it very well. You know, some people are pulling in different directions. Some people are trying to support each other. Some people are trying to push back, you know, this is what's meant to be. And some people are just standing there. And sometimes primarily, maybe this is the person who has given instructions and saying, well, continue doing it. And sometimes that can be the supervisor, or sometimes this can be one of those very difficult people that we work with, isn't it? And sometimes there will be those people whom we term as difficult, but these difficult people, how do we try and bring them back together? Bring them back to the fore and say, well, we are here to win as a team, and come and let's work together. And this is the vision, these are our values, this is our culture. How can we help you better to make sure that we can all pull in the same direction? Yeah, so extremely important. So when you think about collaboration, it's just bringing all these pieces together so that we can achieve the vision and the mission of the organizations that we work with, or even wherever it is. You know, you can belong even to a chama, you can belong to a cousin's chat group, and sometimes it doesn't work too well, and you say, well, even as a family, how can we make sure that all the parcels that we have, you know, they are being pieced together for us to be able to be pulling in the same direction? So yeah. Anybody else before we go to the next slide? Anybody else? You see anything different that you would like to talk about, like you'd like to contribute? Anyone? Anyone? Okay. Please feel free to unmute yourself as we go by. So today and tomorrow, we'll be talking about really good things. And you have mentioned your expectations very well. Now we can break them down together in collaborative management, some of the systems that we have, leadership styles. We look at the traditional styles and the collaborative styles, collaborative approaches, the tools that we can use, the ACTS model. So what I love about this is that we'll always introduce something new and something rich for you to go out with thinking, oh, okay, fine, and things that you can actually talk about in your department and in your organization. How about us trying this and maybe putting it together? And also these trainings also help us to go back and say how progressive our policies, how progressive our procedures that we have in place. I have heard of a best practice out there. How about bringing it? And even as we do that, we know that some of the things are quick wins. You can definitely do that. And that is what I always encourage. Don't just listen, do something after that, take it to the next level. And also the same time, meaning that if you need approvals, start early so that you can get approvals. Some of these things will cost money. Do have a budget for it, but always have that in mind that you will always be able to take something new to the workplace, or just reminding yourself, oh, I'd actually forgotten about this. And now it's so fresh for me. I feel renewed. I feel energized. I feel happy about it, and I'm able to go down here. So we look at the SIM initiative, the systems, the change management, something very important within collaborative management, project management, architecture, and conflict management, because all these things really come together. So that is what we'll be looking at for the next 2 days. So keep in tune. Make sure that you finish the module, and as Dan said, that it's going to be on the portal once you log in, and you're also able to get download your certificate after you finish the module. Okay, so objective, sorry, let's go back. Why am I not able to see my screen up there? Yeah, so sorry, I was just pushing that a little. Okay, can you see my screen? I hope so. So collaborative techniques have led to innovative approaches to projects, new processes to accomplish key tasks, and shared ideas on various responsibilities. And that's what we want to see, that when you have collaboration at your workplace, it leads to innovation, to creativity, because in organizations, we work, whatever you do, whether you offer a service, whether you manufacture, whatever industry that you are in, you work on projects, whatever projects would look like or would feel like they're projects. And that's what drives the wheel of your mission and of your strategy, whatever it is. You will have projects, whether they are continuous projects or it's one big project that you're working on, and for you to be able to accomplish it. So collaboration techniques will always be very important for you to be able to do that. New processes, there'll be processes from time to time. If you want to continue being the trailblazer in the market, people looking at you and your competitors and your comparators coming and saying, wow, okay, this is what they have done. Let's wait and see what they have done, what are they able to do. Those things will need collaboration, shared ideas, and varied responsibilities. Everybody is different. Catherine is different from Pauline. Pauline is different from Paula. Let's call this our organization that we all come together. Everybody is very different. So my opinions should be taken into consideration. My ideas should be taken into consideration and not always being shot down and saying, well, she's always has nothing good to say in the organization. That will kill your collaboration. And varied responsibilities from the very top, the CEO and the C-suite who set the tone of the organization, to the workers of the shop floor, like I like to call them, your janitors, your cleaners. Everyone is important in this organization. And how do we come together? So it's not like we can't get to the seventh floor because, it's only reserved for the C-suite. And for me to go there, I'm in trouble, and I can't get there, because they don't even talk to us, It must be a top-bottom approach, a bottom-top approach, and everybody must feel important working in this organization, because innovative will be key for us to be able to get the projects out that we have, to get the processes that we have, to be able to meet the mandate of the organization. I keep on saying, see, we are all employed here together. There's nobody who's more important than the other, because we are all here to work. But some people, when they have various positions, they think, well, I am the final decision maker. Nothing can happen to me. And we miss those opportunities. When we start thinking like that, we miss the opportunities of collaboration. We miss those opportunities to totally connect with the people and for us to be able to do great work and to continuously develop and be innovative as an organization. Any? Okay. So what is collaboration? And we look at some case studies as we go along. We look at some case studies. So, what is collaboration management in your opinion? Collaboration management? Given that we are looking at innovative projects, processes, anything that goes on in an organization. Anything? Don't have to be word for word in the dictionary or what has been, whatever but just being able to understand collaborative management. The new buzzword in town. It's very alive now in town. Everybody says, oh, collaboration. Yeah, collaboration is key for what we are doing here. We are very happy. Anyone?
Good morning, Catherine.
Morning.
I would think what comes to my mind when I hear the word collaboration is coming together. It's team spirit. When people come together to work towards a common goal. And therefore, they have to agree and set the agenda together and be able to do everything that is needed together so as to achieve that common goal.
Very true, Patrick. Thank you. Yeah. Team spirit. I like the words that you're using. Team spirit to achieve a certain goal, you know, coming together, making sure that everybody is in that pot and contributing whatever they are capable of contributing, so that nobody is left behind. Yeah. Yeah. Someone else? I like the words that you have used. Very true. Collaborative management. Anyone else? There's no right or wrong. It's just as unpacking it and understanding it in our own context. That's always better. You know, as we go along, there could be new terminologies, but how do we make sure that we are really understanding from our own people perspective, collaboration management? Patrick has said team spirit, working together so that we achieve the common goal that we have set. Someone else? And you want to put it differently? How many of us have collaboration as one of their values in your organization? One of us who has collaboration as one of their key values? I see all these nice values in people's offices. Mission, vision. Anyone? Collaboration? Or maybe close to collaboration would be what? Would be? Anyone? Okay, I'm sure we can go as we go along. So, what is collaboration management? Someone read for us there. Unmute yourself. That's how I get people involved much more. Anyone, just unmute and read whatever you see on the screen. Patrick, you able to do that for us? Thank you.
I can read.
Yes.
What I'm seeing is 3 collaborative techniques have led to innovative approaches to projects, new processes to accomplish key tasks, and shared ideas on varied responsibilities.
Are you not seeing what is collaborative management? Is that what you're seeing? Combination of various management techniques and is called collaborative management.
From my side, I'm seeing objective. I don't know if anyone else is seeing something else.
Catherine.
Yeah, I'm also seeing objective.
From my side, I'm only seeing the first line that you read.
What has happened? Okay. What do you see now? What is collaborative management?
I'm seeing these collaborative techniques that have led to innovation approaches.
Okay, let me stop share. Sorry. Maybe something went wrong. Thank you for that. And it's nice that I said, let us read it. So escape. What has happened? Okay, let me try and share it again. Sorry about that. Okay, can you see my screen now? Tell me when you see it.
Yes, I can see it.
Great.
Management by objective, yes.
Fantastic. Then, okay, so let me just put it on slideshow. Can you see what is collaborative management?
Yes.
Good, thank you. Okay, so definition, you can read it now, Patrick.
Okay, what is collaborative management? Combination of various management techniques is called collaborative management. It is used to enlighten a sense of unity and teamwork among managers, supervisors, and employees in an organization. In other words, it is an act of working together to achieve a common goal within a time frame.
Very easy, nothing complicated. Thank you, Patrick. Nothing complicated, isn't it? Management techniques. What are some of those techniques that we can put in place or we have in place used to enlighten a sense of unity and teamwork among everybody in an organization? You know, the act of working together to achieve a common goal within a time frame. But what happens in organizations? Is this always what happens? Is this always what happens? Or is it always wishful thinking? Is it always this what happens? Majority of the time is when it happens, especially if we are very people-centric, we want the best for the people, we want the best for ourselves, this is what happens. But sometimes it does go wrong because we don't understand each other. And my opinion is not taken the way I thought it would be taken. I was not heard, you know. I was, I felt sidelined, you know. People judge me differently because of the areas of diversity and inclusion. I don't understand this value that you have brought, whatever. I don't understand this work that you have given me. It's something new and I'm struggling with it, and you're not taking time to take me through what's supposed to be done. But majority of the time is when we say that indeed it's supposed to be working. So what are a combination of various management techniques? For example, management techniques, anyone? Could be anything, you know, that you use in your organization, and you use it all the time. Management techniques. Management techniques. This one. We don't want to go ahead without unpacking, because this forms the basis of the whole webinar. This forms the basis. Some management techniques, guys, please unmute. Feel free to unmute and tell me and share management techniques. It could be anything, you know. It is what techniques does management use for us to be able to have a sense of unity and teamwork? What do they do?
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, training and development.
Yes, yeah, training and development. And how would you, what about training and development as one of the management techniques?
Offering trainings to the staff.
Offering training to the staff to be able to fill in any competency gaps, motivate them, learn about the organization, learn about their work. Yeah, a very good management technique. Someone else?
I'd say performance management, where you set the objectives and agree on smart goals and timelines.
Fantastic. Performance management. From the time you apply for a job in a certain organization, when you see that advert and say, oh, this fits me, this is me, I hope that I'm successful in this application. And if you get that job, we start managing performance to the time of separation, whichever way we separate. So performance management continues to be the strong pillar and avenue of how we manage people in the organization. Someone else, another management technique? Training and development, performance management. Someone else? There's so many. They could be as many as we are in this room, and even many more techniques. Like this, like this, like this, like this, like that, you know. Let's share. Let's share. To enlighten a sense of unity and teamwork among employees in an organization. What brings a sense of unity that when management uses this kind of techniques. Anything else that you can think of?
Good morning. Can we say allowing participation?
Allowing participation, open communication, and open communication doesn't just mean that I leave my doors open. It's actually going out and saying, what do you think? Let's work together. I want to include you, continuous communication, top down. Very, very strong, especially now that people are working remotely. For the ones who continue working remotely, there is never been a more urgent time to use collaboration. Never, ever, ever to use, because we are not seeing each other. We are just seeing each other on various digital platforms, and sometimes we are not turning on our videos for people to see us and and they just hear our voice. And people should be, when I see you, I feel that I really am having that connection. So there's never been a more urgent time for collaboration in this new normal, as we like to call it. We ever use that word anymore? Someone else? Collaborative management techniques.
Holding team building events.
Yeah, holding team building events, and that's ability to bond and to make sure that we understanding each other. Who is Catherine? Who's Grace? Who's Patrick? Just really understanding the other person. What are their strengths? What are their areas of improvement? So that we know that when they do this, we know, oh, they're not at their best, and when those, for sure, if we give them this project, they'll be able to deliver. Yeah. Under training and development, thank you very much. Those are some of the strong pillars under training and development. Someone else? Collaborative techniques?
I'm thinking of making company goals more transparent and at least provide consistent feedback when necessary.
Very true. A management technique in terms of simplifying the strategy of the organization. How simple is this strategy? Has everybody understood it? Has everybody bought into it from the top to the bottom? Sometimes we have these 5-year strategy plans and the evaluation frameworks, but we are not breaking it down to the driver for him to understand how he feeds into the strategy of the organization. We are not evaluating it with everybody. We are just casually saying it. And I say that because I see many CEOs casually at the town hall meeting saying, this is we're meeting our target. We are not meeting our target. He has said nothing. They have said nothing. Sorry, it's not a he. They have said nothing to unpack and simplify the strategy. We must let people who are involved in the strategy to come and say, this is what we have done. And then the top comes and says, summarizes it and say, we're in the right direction. I like we're in the right direction because HR department was supposed to recruit 50 people. They're in the second half, and I'm happy to say that they have surpassed 95%. So they have brought in 45 people. That's unpacking it and packing it very simply and also motivating. Unfortunately, the sales are not coming in as we expected. And the sales director has told me our products are obsolete in the market, and we need to have the business develop, and they're working together with the business development team to be able to do what? Bring in the products that are competitive in the market. Have they unpacked it? Compared to saying, I have had sales are not doing well. We are talking, I need to understand why. We've not collaborated. It needs to be better. Another management technique. These are very strong ones. These are very good ones. We are saying two more management techniques that we use. Recognition. Yes. Yeah. Tell us a little bit more about recognition.
You recognize your workers when, you can at least hear more about them and what they are advising. It might be necessary for the organization for its growth. So
very well put, Grace. Yeah. Sorry to time you in.
Also about recognition is when there is any kind of incentive to be given, you need to recognize your employees. Maybe the organization has had a good share of its profit. You can recognize them by giving them some incentives.
Exactly, bonus, incentives. Your compensation and reward need to be competitive enough, and it needs to be fair. The reward that you put for people in your organization should be fair, should be justified, should be within reason of affordability and relativity. We all know that, if you're able to pay, please pay. If you're able to pay above market rate, if you're able to pay above the 50th percentile, go to the 75th percentile, what stops you? Enlightens a sense of unity and teamwork. And no people are compensated, are motivated by different things. If those benefits, if you can be able to provide them, those bonuses, if you're able to provide them. So let's continue doing that, recognizing people as individuals and bringing them together as a team continues to be strong management techniques. And some of these techniques, as we have seen, are strongly driven by us, by HR people. These are things that are the management techniques that call for close collaboration within the organization, are strongly driven from a HR perspective. And that's why we need to be strong business partners in the organization. So that's how we should be. Okay, great. Any question there? Any feedback? Are we given the opportunity to bring in these management techniques? Anyone? Do we feel adequate enough that we can do that? Let's move a bit faster. Anyone? And anyway, once we, Grace.
Catherine, I was thinking of troubleshooting a problem whenever it occurs. That is, last time we were talking about taking the hot iron when you take the hot potato while it's still hot.
Strike the iron when it's still hot.
Yes.
Yes,
so
it's
I
true.
was thinking of a technique of you troubleshoot the problem when it's still hot. I don't know. What is your take about that?
Very important. I always advocate that let's iron out matters as they are. If there are no emotions, if they are not running high, we are all cool heads, and saying that this is how it is. We need to be able to do that so that there is no simmering or any undercurrents, in between. We've laid it bare. And the most important thing for people to continue understanding around conflict management, which we'll look at it tomorrow, thank you, Grace, is in the area of collaboration. They will not miss one or two people whom we will clash with. You get what I mean? But clashing should not be from a perspective of, I don't like Catherine, I don't like Dan. It's the work that informs us. Well, you missed the deadline again. You're making me look bad. I cannot continue with my work because you have not given me your work to feed in, So we are talking about, being able to meet deadlines. We are looking at that key aspect, that problem that has been there for a long time, but not now saying, they don't meet deadlines. After all, I don't want to work with them. So strike the iron while it's still hot, when there are no emotions, and bordering on the issue and actually pointing it to the policies, the consequences, and also making sure that we are empathetic and we are continuously collaborating and showing people, if you don't do this, then this is what happens. Someone else who would like to contribute on that area, in that area? Anyone? Okay, so thank you, Grace. Yeah, strike it when it's still hot. Everything, whether it's a bad thing or a good thing, strike it when it's still hot. When you need to give praise, give it there and there. Oh, you've done a fantastic job. How did you do it? And let the other person know that. Well, recognize and say, we would like you to champion this because you seem to be doing it so well. What do other people think? Yes, I think they are very good at it. Let them be the one taking it, and us supporting you genuinely and being happy that so all of us are succeeding. Key collaboration as well. Okay, great. So concepts behind collaboration management. And once some of the things as we discuss, what you will see is that we'll go pretty quickly in terms of it will now be recapping based on the slides that we have. So as we discuss, then we pretty pass through just the slides as because we've discussed that. So the concept behind collaborative management style is managers are allowed to collaborate their strength with their team to achieve the goal. Any weaknesses found among the members of the team is collectively overcome, as what we have actually discussed. Efficiencies and productivity of the organization are enhanced because of collaborative management. So you see, it's a whole value chain. You know, everybody is coming into this spectrum because they're important. You know, managers are allowed to collaborate with their strengths with their team. You know, the manager brings themselves to offer direction and to offer leadership in this area because they have the qualifications and people can believe and trust with them. Remember, what is leadership? Leadership is setting the vision and people following you. You know, nothing else. You know, we believe in what they are doing. We are happy to follow them. They are setting the pace. We are following them and we feel motivated. So as managers, we need to be able to do two things for our team: motivate our team and grow our teams. Because as a manager, then I know I can rely on my team members to execute the role that they have been given. You know, you can be a manager of a function, isn't it? You can be a manager of people. So once managers know that their key, one of their key responsibilities is to ensure that there's collaboration within their teams, then they are able to achieve their goals. Any weaknesses found within members of the team is collectively overcome. What is that? What does that mean? Or even at, let's try and bring it very closer to home where we give with examples. Any weaknesses found among members of the team is collectively overcome. Mm-hmm. Anyone? Feel free to unmute, please. Anyone? Any weaknesses found? We've just discussed it with the last point that Grace raised. Strike it while it's still hot. Just to emphasize that a little more for us. Anyone? Anyone would like to contribute there? I see some people have joined the webinar. Very warm welcome to you guys. We've not gone very far. We've been unpacking collaboration concept. Anyone? Any weaknesses? Any weaknesses? So we all know that we are not perfect. And that means that we will fall from time to time. And sometimes we need to be able to be told, hey, there's a weakness here. You know, we feel that you display a lot of impatience with the team and with your team members, generally to everyone who works with you. You know, you're very opinionated, you procrastinate, you know, you have no tenacity. So things called out, and with examples of where that procrastination was, what it led, what was the outcome, and how it actually disadvantaged the business if it did. You know, for you to be able to learn and to be able to look back and say, well, yes, I do recognize that, or I didn't even know that that's how I come across. I'm happy to change. And many of the times is when we don't even know that some of these weaknesses that we have as individuals impact the greater team. And you come and say, oh my gosh, I didn't know. I'm very sorry about it. And many people do not know that. And that's why I keep on encouraging organizations to make sure that even use simple tools from open source from the internet to do personality tests, you know, so that you know who your team members are. They understand who they are, their blind spots and their weaknesses, to be able to know how to accommodate them, and when they strike, what happens, you know, so that we have that open discussion. But sometimes we are very fearful of having that discussion. We must be brave enough to have those discussions. Okay. I would like us to look in the aspect of collaboration. One of the key drivers is management by objectives, which is the next big thing. So once we do this, once we unpack management by objective, it gives us a very good framework of all this, what needs to be done, and we've been discussing it. Someone who can unmute themselves and read for us, please. Just read whatever is on the screen. Management by objectives as a key driver for collaboration. Yeah, thank you.
I can read.
Yes.
The process of defining the objectives to be achieved within an organization is called management by objectives. Both the management and the employees agree to their objectives. They understand their roles and responsibilities to achieve the goals.
Thank you. So the management by objective remains one of the key pillars of collaboration, but it also enhances, and many organizations use the management by objective evaluation tool to evaluate performance, you know, very, very where you have your objectives, you have your key KPIs, you understand the strategy, you understand the strategy of your organization, you understand your job description, you understand the values and the culture of this organization. Then we say, aha, so you understand that. We are all very happy. The tool that we will use to evaluate performance at the end of the year or at a certain period of time will be I and you, the supervisor and the employee, sit down and unpack it. Sometimes, of course, it would be more elaborate. Maybe you have a 360, maybe you have what do you call it, a balance scorecard. So you could use many, but the key onset of performance evaluation and performance management in an organization is management by objectives, because it has many pillars. Both the employee to understand their roles and responsibilities to achieve the goal. And of course, if I understand my roles and responsibilities, I'm able to collaborate more. So you ask yourself in the morning and say, hey, this job has I'm finding it difficult to unpack these numbers. My P&L for the year as HR, where have all these numbers ballooned from, you know? And you go to the payroll guy, maybe he's in finance, and say, do you have 5 minutes? Let's unpack these numbers. And he says, yeah, you know, so ability to collaborate, you know, with each other in the organization and be able to make sure that you're achieving their set goals. Okay, great. So management process involves 5 steps, which we all know. Someone else can unpack for us, please? Yes, this is how I really get you guys to talk a little bit more so that we are all equal in terms of contributing. Someone just like the way it is. And we all have this will in our organization.
The MBO
Anyone?
process.
Yes, yeah, Wanja.
Okay. The MBO process involves 5 steps.
Yeah, just speak up a little bit more.
The MBO process,
yeah.
That's better.
Yeah, good.
Involves 5 steps: evaluating performance, monitor progress, set work objectives, review organizational objectives, give reward.
Fantastic. Well done. Okay. I'll keep standing, sitting. Yeah. Okay. So when you're employed, even you as an individual, we are continuously evaluating performance, continuously giving feedback, what we want people to achieve. We are actively also soliciting for feedback. In fact, if anything now, as employees, there's one big discussion that is going on: ability to solicit for feedback instead of waiting to be given feedback. Very important. So evaluating performance, going round, it's not just it's November, it's before Christmas, this is when we evaluate. Our calendar here is no, from the time you get into this organization, we are looking at your feedback. Monitor progress. It's within that continuous monitoring the progress of me as an individual compared to the strategy of the organization. Continuously, I am involved in this project. How is my progress being monitored? Who's monitoring it? What feedback am I getting from it? So there is the continuous monitoring me as an individual of working here. And I'm being taken for training, monitoring progress. I'm being rewarded for my hard work. I'm being provided with the resources that I need to be able to achieve my work. Let's say you're working from home, monitoring progress. Catherine, how are you doing? Do you feel that the internet is adequate enough to support the work that you are doing? Do you feel that the platforms that we have put in place are helping you achieve the whatever? If you have been sick, for example, and I know that a lot is happening if you have someone maybe who has COVID, and calling and say, Catherine, how are you doing? Are you in, do you feel better? Have you gone, you told us that your next test would be let's say on the 7th. Did you go for your test? What, without intruding on people's space. So monitoring progress, it's not just monitoring progress from a work perspective, the heavy things that need to be done, the technical things that need to be done. But me as an individual, I feel better, I feel more engaged, and I'll be able to collaborate more. Set worker objectives. Of course, while the objectives come from the fact that I'll have a technical job to do, and I have set objectives. And if you give me more than 5 objectives, I'll start looking at you and wondering, why are you giving me so many objectives? 5 objectives are good enough for the year for me to be able to do them well, and for them to motivate me. I remember someone here saying that ability to, was it Patrick, one of the inputs he gave was have to be able to meet the goals of the organization. If you give me too many objectives and people think it is fancy, it is not good enough. Research has shown 5 key objectives that are actually crafted from the strategy and my JD, and my ability as an individual, I'm able to achieve that. If not, then I'll be struggling and I'll just be doing things just to do them and to be able to achieve. So we don't want mediocre work. That's what we are saying. We want work that is excellent and is able to drive the objectives of the organization. Review organizational objectives. Someone tell us about reviewing of organizational objectives. Involves 5 steps and also give reward. Anybody input from there? Input? Just summarizing and maybe give it with an example that you know that you have. Anyone? Feel free to unmute, please. Feel free to unmute. Just when you think about, yeah.
I'm thinking about reviewing organizational objectives in terms of when you see that one objective is not being done well by the employees, then you need to rethink and strategize on how to amend that objective that is not being attained by the employees. Maybe it's not realistic, or maybe it is not time bound. So I think in terms of reviews, you need to monitor each and every other time. Are employees getting the concept of what the objective is all about? I think that is, it's all about review.
Exactly. Review from time to time. If they have stopped, if that objective has stopped working for us as an organization because it is obsolete or the statutory, it's not compliant, then we need to review it and amend it. And one of the things is that we should continuously make sure that our policies and our procedures are very progressive. They naturally just meet the strategy of our organization, and there is no brainer. It's progressive, it's continuous. It shifts. I mean, it just shifts. It goes to inform what we are doing as an organization. When we see that our market is shifting this direction, this is what our clients and customers are saying, quickly we go back and review. Even for me as an individual, maybe I was in sales and come and say, well, there are 5 same products in the market. What do we do now? How do we position ourselves? We've been number 1. Now we are number 3. Look at the FMCGs. The war on maybe on margarine spreads, or the war on detergents, everything, it's so cutthroat. Everything is so cutthroat. So what do you do? And of course, sometimes we benefit as consumers, when a certain brand is buy one, get one free, and then the next week someone is coming and saying bundle mine together and stuff like that. So we get to benefit. It's so cutthroat that you have to keep abreast. So that's when the salespeople come and say, hey, what is out here? Market intelligence, this is informing us and whatever. But also based on that, what does it mean for your bottom line? Even when we are reviewing all this and trying to stay afloat and abreast, what does it mean for our bottom line? That is always something that we need to understand as business leaders. And all of us here as business leaders, we need to say, if we move like this, okay, this other product maybe is safe. If we increase it by 2 shillings, and I see people doing that, people don't even notice because it's a premium product and we are the best in the market. As we suffer on this one because we need to keep relevant, this one we can up it. So there's always opportunities in the business and always looking at the risk. And that's why we have the business intelligence department to be able to give us those intelligence of what, if we move this one this way, we can shift this other one this way, and we'll be able to break even. Great. Yeah, thank you very much. And it's the same for HR. Some of the things, or when you see many people are, what policies can you review? Because people are telling you over and over again, you come and think, hey, this is happening many times. Maybe we need to continue, we need to consider changing the policy and the procedure. Give reward as the last one. People love rewards. I love a good reward. I love a good reward. Give reward. And when are rewards given? Are rewards automatic? Do we feel entitled to rewards? And when's the last time you went to your supervisor and told them, I would like you to consider a salary raise for me as an individual? Give reward. Someone? Benjamin?
Yeah, thanks, Catherine. I think you keep reward if the set objectives has been achieved by the employees. For example, you can keep them a 13th salary, that is a bonus. You can also keep them a recognition in terms of just a letter to recognize what they have done, what they have contributed.
Yeah, true.
The issue of salary sometimes is very tricky. Increment, because, for example, like Kenya, salary is a huge thing for everybody. So it's very difficult. Sometimes you can recognize by just giving them a letter or even a great assignment. What assignment?
It's true. Yeah. So salaries continue to be very to standardize and to make everybody happy. Sometimes you will not. And that question every time on the questionnaire, on the engagement survey, it needs to be there, but it's a very redundant question, but it continues to elicit a lot of discussion. Are you satisfied with your salary? Even the CEO even because it's anonymous anyway, we don't know. But as HR, we know that that question will always stand out like a sore thumb. It's always red as this dartboard, you know, this red. It stands out like that. People will always say, no, I'm not happy, including me, who have worked with a consultant to select the questions that that need to go into the survey after maybe the committee. People have expressed what kind of questions, and over time you have your data and stuff like that. Very interesting, you know. We've always wanted to be rewarded more. Money continues to be a big motivator, and we need to be fair in how we reward people. Equal pay for equal work, for equal pay, equal pay for equal work. Yeah, that's how it is. So that continues. Yeah, I remember when the president and the deputy president took a pay cut. Did they even get the pay cut? Was it even instituted? Anyway, so I don't know what had motivated them, but let's look at today's budget. Interesting. Okay, anyone else around that? Pay, give reward. They could be intrinsic rewards and non-intrinsic rewards. We all understand that. So those are the 5 steps, and I'm sure you're also working towards them. So when you are alive to the fact that these 5 steps of management by objective need to be out there in your organization, and you're monitoring them, you are discussing them, you are getting people's feedback, you have greater chances of succeeding in your collaboration initiatives in the organization. Okay, great. So what are some of the advantages of management by objective, which leads to healthy organized collaboration? I've even said one. Okay. Advantages, anyone? Advantages of management by objective? There could be as many as we are here, many more. Many more. Even think about where you work. What are the advantages of having ensuring that these steps of management by objective are taking place? Please unmute.
It enhances accountability.
Enhances accountability. Everybody knows what is required of them. So there's transparency, there's accountability. I can hold you accountable to what you have said you're going to do. Thank you. Well done. Yeah, thank you, Wanja. Someone else? Important, some of the important things, advantages of management by objective. Someone else? The things that I know you've even mentioned some of them. We have mentioned almost all of them. Maybe just a recap. Someone? Before we go to the collaboration process. Let's continue. Let's continue.
Can I say it helps in focusing and ensuring that we are directing our energies on the right things?
Focusing allows us to be more focused and direct our energies on the right things where we will have quick wins. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Patrick. That is correct. Someone else? Unity of purpose. Thank you very much. Yeah. There's full employees. I'm looking at the charts. Yeah. Thank you, Grace and Judy. Yeah.
I'm thinking of one of advantage of MBO is effective planning. There is also reinforcement of commitment. There's goal settings is attainable. Accountability. So there are many.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Goal setting, accountability, unity of purpose. Yeah. It could be as many as we are. And some of the important advantages are given below. Motivation, like what we have said, it encourages employee job satisfaction and commitment. That's what we want. Better communication and coordination, harmonious relationship within the organization are built doing frequent reviews of the objectives and interaction between superiors and subordinates. Yeah. Clarity of goals, which we have said, the subordinates have a higher commitment towards the objectives set by themselves and those imposed on them by others, isn't it? And sometimes we do get them imposed because it's part. If we don't do it, you need to do it, I need to do it. So some, I just don't select them. Some are actually put on you because there's a strong collaboration aspect for us to be able to achieve the goal. Well said. So features of collaborative management, someone read for us, please. Just unmute yourself if you've not spoken, someone. What are the features of collaborative management given what we know? Unity of purpose, someone? Just the way they are. Just unmute yourself. Features of collaborative management.
Okay, let me read.
Thank you.
Team members actively participate in the planning, controlling, and networking processes, which involve using information, communication, and collaboration modules.
Mm-hmm.
In collaborative management, management is for all team members and not reserved solely for managers.
Mm-hmm.
There is a high level of transparency among the team members, and knowledge and information are shared among team members.
Mm-hmm. So when you think about collaboration, even close your eyes right now and just see, wow, when I collaborate between these departments, if I am the manager and I'm managing people, how do I want to be seen in the area of collaboration? Where we say that it builds unity of purpose, it brings us together for us to be able to achieve a goal. So planning, controlling, you know, everybody actively participates. Look, talk of a time when you have been so, we've had a project for so long and then you cut over that project. How does it feel? Sleepless nights, you know, a brand new system is coming into this. We have worked months on end. IT has spent sleepless nights. They have come and taught everybody. When you cut that system and it goes live, and it is successful, it's a sigh of big relief and everybody feels happy and we all say high fives, we did it and let's get it working and stuff like that. So there's synergy and everybody feels very, you know, features of collaboration management, you know, and it's everything that we are saying that line managers and supervisors, they need to understand that is collaboration is not just for them. They can't just demand it. They have to leave it and they have to set the example in terms of you're in my team. I value you. I appreciate you being in this team. This is what you bring. This is what everybody brings. And we must all work together to collaborate and not just me driving the process. The other day we had a good roundtable discussion with some HR colleagues in different industries. We came and said, well, let's talk about how the C-suite and is viewed by the other people in the organization, especially the lower cadre. And we had all these discussions depending on the kind of organization that is that you have, the kind of culture, the kind of person, different things play into that, you know, how a leader is viewed. And of course, there's this big saying that we all like to use, nobody tells the king he's naked, you know, nobody speaks through to power. But in this, the 21st century leadership and management style, nobody speaks through power, needs just to be done away with, because we all come here to achieve a certain objective. Whether you are the owner of the business and you are the founder of the business, the moment you bring in people, you need to accommodate them, and you need to know that people is what will make your business successful. So there were many aspects that we discussed, but then we also discussed the area of the aspect of the lower cadre people who don't pull their weight and come and challenge and question, or even want to be mentored and to be coached by the C-suite, for example. And we thought, why? Is it because then they feel inadequate? They don't have self-esteem. They don't just think that, oh, well, I'll never reach there, you know. So we also need that, we need that collaboration, that everybody feels that we are so one and authentically one, not just in displays of cultures and values on our walls. In every wall that we face, we have all those things on our walls. It must be felt. It must be the DNA that if you meet the CEO in the lift, you have a conversation. Hey, how are you doing? And the CEO really genuine. In fact, you pass the floor that you're going with and you all find yourself on the up floor. You get what I mean? So we are missing that. And what can we do? And we felt that it's everybody's responsibility to pull their weight, top and bottom. There's need, and not the people who have lesser responsibility, which is important. Everybody is important in the organization, to feel that they don't adequately contribute or they cannot reach those people. That is when it's broken. But of course, again, many things come into play. What kind of organization do you have? What kind of culture do you have? What's the personality of these people in the organization? Again, too complex, but we need to try and get there. Any comment on that? Managers, not just being solely responsible for collaboration, but everybody. Do we feel that that is happening more? What can you say about that scenario?
Catherine, I was just remembering about this collaborative management, and that management is for all team members. I was reading something that is called Organization 3.0. And they were saying that this is like, it has the leadership style instead of leader-follower, because then precisely everybody's input is important and everybody contributes to decision-making, people are encouraged to come up with all the creative ideas. Basically, everybody is taking part in management. I don't know, they're just talking of agile leaders and agile management. So I was remembering it because of this part that you were saying. Management is for all team members, and the modern organizations are characterized by these.
Yeah, very true. Thanks for
That
contribution. Yeah. Agile leaders, agile members, being empathetic, being vulnerable, being creative, just bringing everybody to the fore, knowing that we all need to pull together in the right direction. And even those people in the lower cadre levels need to understand that they need to rise up. If you left your lower cadre level today for 2 weeks to be the C-suite, would they run the organization? Yes or no? Would they adequately live? Unpacking I'm not talking about you ask them to go and buy an organization. There's been discussion of merging or joint ventures or all those things. Leave those complicated ones. Would they be able to make sure that if you are producing 10,000 barrels in a day, that would still continue? And your products are going to the market, your services are going to the market, that they would be able to make sure that the payroll is closed on time. There would be, maybe we are negotiating our GLA, GPA cover renewal for this quarter, and maybe one of them sits in that committee. Would they take it and drive it and whatever? Would they do that? Would they have the confidence? Would they come and say, yes, I'm ready to act for 2 weeks? And I know this, I'm very excited to do so. This is something very different compared to my work of driving the executive from one meeting to the other. However, one of the things I will do is I will ask. I might not be whatever, but I will continuously ask. So think about the features of collaborative management. Close your eyes for 1 minute and say, how do my people, how do managers really give the allowance and allow for people to be successful, all of us put together, because we are all leaders in our own rights. Everybody is a leader, just having different responsibilities, but the higher the rank, the more responsibilities you have. And I also say rank comes with privileges as well. I get to be driven around, I get to be open the door, I get the laptop to be brought to my office, you know, that well, you've earned it, no problem, but bring people together. So if you can't confidently say 2 weeks, if we gave the lower cadre people, maybe that's also very far-fetched to run the organization and to ask questions, and maybe one day saying, well, I want to be like that, then we need to start looking at our collaboration a bit more differently. Anybody comment there as we move into the collaboration process? Anyone? What's happening in your organizations? Can we collaborate more? Are we able to collaborate more? Feel free to unmute yourself. Okay, great. Okay, so the collaboration process, of course, it has a process. A collaboration process scores over traditional processes in many ways. Yeah, traditionally, what we are all used to. So participants understand collaboration as an aspect and a way to build rapport with each other as well as the organization. They don't consider it as a task or a set of skills or tools. We build rapport. It guides an organization to give a clear and elaborative way to achieve the goals collectively. Trust is a central pillar, which we have been discussing, on which the entire organization is built, and it overcomes initial resistance or suspicion. Yeah. Anybody would like to unpack some of the things that are here? The process. Building rapport. It's not a tactic, you know, we don't have to think, oh, how will I talk to Catherine? You know, it's a perspective, it's a way of building rapport. I want to find out more about what Catherine does in this organization. She's new, or how do we make sure that the induction will be fit for purpose when she comes to get the induction? You know, we really, it's rapport building trust, you know, getting to know the other person, what I do, how it collaborates with the other department, how important it is. Yeah, it guides an organization to give a clear and elaborative way to achieve goals collectively. So you remember the simplified strategy? Very simple for us to be able to understand, no matter how complicated it is. We also unpacking the achievements and the challenges in the best way possible with examples of what has happened in the business and how we have surmounted some of them. Trust continues to be a central pillar. You know, how do you trust people?
That's what I was going to say. You know, yeah. Trust is key in the sense that when you are trying to to show some, how do you say, to give some support or understanding, backing up, or wanting to partner with other departments. Some others are a bit suspicious. You know, you as an individual or as a department, you may have some ulterior motives or something like that. You know, when you're being nice to someone, they think, oh, this one wants something. So I don't know how do you change people's mentality or mindset. Yeah, I suppose by proving with the work that you are doing. I don't know. It just occurred to me. It's very difficult when you're being nice to someone. They think, no, this one has other intentions, you know?
Yeah. Over time, because we have I don't know, it's because of what has happened in the society, in organizations, where you always think, well, I'll do something for you so that when my time comes, you also repay. You know, there's this nice famous Kiswahili saying, tenda nema enda zako. You know, do good, go your way, and it's fine. So when all of us understand the possibilities of how great trust drives an organization. In fact, you need to read that book, The Speed of Trust. It's an excellent management book, all of us here. It actually propels us to get to the next level, trusting that the organization will do the right thing. The organization doing the right thing means that it's people who have been entrusted with various responsibilities to be able to do it with honesty and with integrity and with what they have set out to do. You know, if we are making fortified maize meal, and on the package we have said that it is fortified with minerals and vitamins, we better be putting those minerals and vitamins in the right proportion they're supposed to be. I saw a big debate of what some bakeries have been doing. You know, they have been removing, you know, bread is how many grams? Bread is 400, 600, and 800, you know, and they have been removing some grams in the bread. So it's not 400. It is maybe when you weigh it, when you get home, it is 390. 10 grams of all the bread that you bake in your bakery, if you steal 10 grams from every whatever. And that is not the production manager who have said that. That is a business decision that you have said. But on the package, you have said 400. But me, the consumer, what can I do? I just want bread to take home. But it is wrong. It is trust within the organization, which we have all decided to cut cash shorts so that we can make more profit. How about making the best bread and you become the premium choice, or even the really low cadre people, and knowing that this bread is the best and whatever? It might cost you for a while, but how about just having that, even as a business, doing what's supposed to be done? So if we are not questioning, and well, management has said don't fortify it with 2 grams, put 1 gram as long as it is fortified. What do we know? What do we know? So that trust is whatever. So when someone else wants to do something, you look at them and say, it can't be. They must want something from me. So I like what you say. Someone else?
I can just add something a little bit about the trust element, and especially when looking at people and not trusting an organization. And having been participating in some coaching sessions, I have come to realize that we practice some kind of transactional leadership without even knowing as an organization. But you will find out that the only time you get interested in someone, it's when you need something from them. And that has been happening, especially to employees, when you realize that as an organization, there's no process of involving people and talking to them clearly without needing something from them, and just being concerned about them and paying attention to even their personal life.
Yeah, very true. So we all think this is how things are done. And we carry them from one organization to the other. And now it becomes a national culture. Unfortunately, we carry it and we start believing that it is the truth until you meet someone who wants to be just a normal human being of what God created us to be, normal, without expecting anything in return. I was listening to another program of on mindfulness. The speaker was saying that, and it's actually very appropriate here, that we are so tuned to looking at what is in it for me that we forget that it is so liberating to just think, I'll be who I am, and I'll be a good human being without expecting anything in return. Unfortunately, it's very capitalistic. It is very cutthroat. In organizations, we drive over each other to make sure that we are the ones taking the medals, we are the ones taking the most bonus, we are the ones who are being looked upon, we are indispensable, because we want to position ourselves as the person who, without me, you guys cannot succeed. We miss the opportunity to effectively collaborate, because we're all here. You can still be successful. And please look at the Amazon case. It was so competitive internally, the pressure was not worth it. I want to achieve because I want to get the best bonus. Until they saw, no, we are going to break this organization if we continue working like this. So trust continues to be a big element. Even the speaker was saying that, you know what, when your child comes and you are so busy and they just want to hug you, a simple hug of mommy, I've missed you, a huggy, and you want to hug them quickly so that you continue with your work. Not just thinking genuinely, I will hug, and without expecting or turning back to for them to go, for them to feel that I have achieved what it is. How about us being very present in the moments that really matter to us? Being very present in terms of checking out on that colleague who has been sick without intruding in their space. That colleague whose performance is not going well, but we are saying that we are putting you on PIP still, but they really appreciate why they are being put on PIP. That colleague whom you have to let go and separate because their position is no longer relevant in the organization through a retrenchment, or maybe the costs are being cut or whatever. A colleague who has committed gross misconduct and warrants a summary dismissal, and the process has been done correctly, but how do they still trust you that the process has been done well, justifiably, transparently, without them thinking you want something in return? So there's a lot. So how we collaborate internally from the time I joined this organization, without thinking, oh, it's very transactional. I like what, is it Patrick or Martin, what I've said? We are very transactional. So how about saying, well, I need nothing in return. I'll give you my time. I will coach you and see how it is. Okay, great. We can continue. Something else you'd like to add? The process of collaboration? Okay, thank you for your input and experiences that we have. Okay, someone read for us the next slide, the collaboration process. The last one was trust. Feel free to unmute yourself. Just to recap what we have just been saying.
Can I continue?
Yes, please.
A collaborative process scores over a traditional process in many ways. Participants work here not to satisfy their own interests, but for the entire organization and team members. There is a wide inclusion of and openness to all needed perspectives. Joint participation and action from team members produce tangible, substantial, and sustainable results.
Exactly. Thank you very much. Someone who would like to recap that? We all work here to not just to satisfy our interests, but the entire organization and team members. Just to recap what you would like to say on the process of collaboration.
I was just thinking that we can earn the trust of the members of the team by the quality of our work, the quality of our input in the collaboration process. I suppose they will see that our work, through our work, they will see the integrity of our purpose, our intention, our behavior, and then we can gain that trust, because our input will contribute to these sustainable results. And it will also challenge people to contribute, to do their part, to make the whole thing successful, hopefully. I don't know. The challenge to others. With your
Yes, exactly.
contribution.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Juve. Do you pronounce your name as Juve?
Juvie.
Juvie.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. Joint participation. Thank you for wrapping it up very well. Joint participation for action from team members produce tangible, sustainable, substantial and sustainable results. That's what we want from everyone. That if I was to leave this organization today, it's not Catherine leaving. I'm leaving everything that needs to be done, the knowledge management that is there, the processes and the systems, it's very sustainable. It's not like abuse. It's not like, oh, she's left now. We've been left like orphans. We don't even know what to do. And we know some people who leave organizations and they are not the same as they were, either leaders or someone who's a real expert who has decided to leave that organization. We need all of us to understand that when I'm here, I'm creating the processes. I am mentoring, I am coaching. I am passing that knowledge to the next person so that there is no vacuum. Sustainability is what we want. And we also don't want to have policies of, these are Catherine's policies. She came and changed and everybody is whining on the corridors. The moment he goes, we go back to our old days. Don't we see that? Leaders who come with their own policies, everybody is very upset about them. And the moment they go, we breathe a sigh of relief. What was that all about? So how about us having that trust? The trust that we need to come and tell the leader, hey, it's not working for us. We like what you have said, but show us what's the significance of changing it. Policies and procedures can only be incremental to motivate and to drive sustainability of the organization. They cannot be detrimental. You get what I mean? They can't be like we used to enjoy, and it won't break your P&L. We used to enjoy what? Maybe lunch every Friday, for example, coming together, sharing a meal. And now the manager says that because we've brought a policy of, and this is how sometimes it goes. Let's do this example. We've said that on Friday we'll work until 2, then we break for the weekend. But before we break for 2, if you have time, you can come to the canteen and we can share a meal. And everybody loves it because it's the time that we all catch up together. We are collaborating. We are saying, hey, buddy, you go home. Enda saa 8 na unajua your project, mi na wewe, we are working together and I see you are behind. You are saying that and other side and says, don't worry, I'll work over the weekend. Real good banters and good vibes and energy in the canteen. And then the leader comes and thinks, why? But you are going half day home. You are not working in the afternoon. Out goes the lunch. Is it necessary? It does not pinch our P&L at all. But they've just decided, well, since I've given you half day, you're working half day, then one of the things that will go is lunch. And the moment they go, the lunch is back. We are back to our high fives, So let's not stifle collaboration without really thinking through how it affects the team in the area of producing tangible, sustainable, and substantial results. Anybody with another example of what they have seen? A manager who came, put in their own rules and regulations. The moment they went, they were told, those were her rules. Those were his rules. They can go with them. Anyone? Does that happen a lot? Feel free to unmute yourself. Let's share experiences and what you have done. Anyone? I can see
Hi,
Margaret.
Catherine.
Yes, Grace. Yeah, hello, Grace.
Hi. Sorry, I didn't realize I was supposed to click on something so that I'm able to unmute myself.
Oh.
I remember. It's a personal experience. Like 3 years ago, we had a new CEO, and we would attend the meetings, the management meetings, and this gentleman would not allow people, like, because in a meeting there's that collaboration and sharing, and it reaches a point whereby he raises his voice at someone who had worked for the company for about 30 years, and everybody goes mute in a meeting, and then in the long run he actually calls off the meeting because he sort of was impatient, not wanting to hear, or rather get the comments of the members, because I believe when you hold a meeting, you want to resolve issues that are arising in the company. And so I believe we have similar people out there who are, I would say, individualistic. They are not part of that team of collectivism and matters management practices. Thank you.
Yeah, and of course it really makes it difficult to try and work with that person, new management style. This is not what we are used to, and as leaders then we need to understand what goes on in this organization. If there is an opportunity to change for better, no doubt. These people like to talk. Okay, fine, contain your thoughts around the agenda of the meeting so that we can achieve the goals and we can be able to move forward. But if you'll come and shout at people at meetings, it's very unfortunate.
Surprisingly, Catherine, he resigned.
He resigned, the guy of 30 years, or this MD?
This MD. He resigned.
Oh, he went his way, and all of you back, you're happy now. You had a sigh of relief, and I'm sure some of you didn't go for his party. I'm bad, sorry. But that's what happens, have the mantra of, I want everybody to be successful. As a leader, when you have good people working with you, take full advantage. Even if you have a team, if you're in this webinar and you have a team, employ the best people that ever was, if they are good fit for your culture in your organization, because you will just be sitting like this. I said giving direction and motivating and setting the strategy of the organization. Then the rest of the day, you'll just be whispering and saying, I'm ready. The team is working, and you're motivating them. I mean, you guys are shining away, but we are so juvenile in our ways. Sometimes we just want to employ people who can be timid. Choose to challenge. Let people challenge you. You remember soliciting for feedback? The next big thing in organizations, solicit for that feedback. How am I doing? Who am I? And I'm sure that MD never one day solicited for feedback. And you guys were fearful of giving him feedback because he will shout from here to Kathmandu, Nepal. Sorry. Anyway, so we all understand and we are cognizant of these, some of these very difficult circumstances in organizations, but how do we come up, through some of the selection processes and letting people know that this is our culture, and really driving the recruitment process rigorously to know what kind of people that they are, doing background checks, and impatient person say, well, we accommodate people and we don't raise our voices and whatever. But anyway, so that's when you miss opportunities for collaboration. Okay, so collaboration, any input there? Thank you, Grace, for that. We appreciate. Anybody else? Anybody else? Okay. So collaborative decision-making, we move a bit faster so that we just recap some of the things that we have been saying. So collaborative decision-making aims at improving the flow of information among the superiors and the subordinates, CDM. In a CDM, decisions are made based on the views shared by leaders and team members. Awareness is also created and the consequences of the consequences of the mutual decisions made. So we all here, it's not just one person making the decision. And for you to be able to get people to participate in initiatives that you want to put in place or ongoing initiatives, or just making sure that we are continuously working towards achieving our goals and objectives, we must create an opportunity and an environment for everybody to air their views, from the junior employees to the senior employees. So that gives us an opportunity. There are two central assumptions to collaborative decision-making. Better information will lead to better decision-making. Tools and procedures should be kept ready to adapt to changing conditions. Valuable decisions and actions are taken after pooling the knowledge, information, values, and preferences of various team members. The team members get a chance to learn from each other. Pretty obvious, what happens in organizations. This is what's supposed to happen, but sometimes it doesn't. Look at these rockets. They are going because all of us have agreed on that decision. We're on the path to success, and we are taking this risk. We know that we have discussed it. We are happy with it. Even just some of the simple processes that we think, are pretty obvious, sometimes allow for people to give their input. Some things you just think they are rather obvious. We need a new management evaluation system. And you think, we'll move from supervisor employee discussions, and we are going to get it into a 360. Everybody understands what a 360 is, and you just say, go and implement and start the system. And people look at you and wonder, a big decision, but you just think, isn't this rather obvious? It is not obvious for everyone. And again, sorry to say, common sense is not common for everyone. Okay, so collaborative decision making, leads to better information and your success. So some of the collaboration systems, someone read for us. Collaboration system. Can unmute yourself. Have a go at it.
Maybe I can take it.
Thank you, Grace.
Our collaboration system comprises of a set of tools which allow the team members to share their ideas and talents with other members. Mm-hmm. This helps in accomplishing the tasks both efficiently and effectively.
Yeah. Tools and systems, what are set of tools? What are tools? Set of tools. Any set of tools that we can think of? Just like the way we say the collaboration techniques that help an organization succeed. A system, the collaboration system in this organization comprises of a set of tools. Think of your organization. You have a collaboration system. I can walk from one floor to the other to go and ask. I can pick up the phone. I can look at the manuals in terms of how this process goes, whom I need to collaborate with. If I need to call someone in head office in a different country, this is the person that I will call. This is the number I can get them in. This is their email, the intranet in the organization, the organizational intranet that has everybody's details. Your system, you have a good system that has been laid, set of tools to share the ideas. Tools could be us coming around the table and having a discussion for us to be able to share ideas, understand, projects, teams being put together, tools availing all the resources that we need for us to be able to share those ideas and talents with other team members. Okay, great. Let's continue. Grace, if you want to continue reading.
Our collaboration system is influenced by numerous factors. There are two fundamental aspects that need to be customized to align with the goals and also need to be taken into consideration when it comes to corporate culture.
Great. So let's have a look at these two tools. These two systems are, these types of collaboration systems are the unstructured collaboration and the structured collaboration. The unstructured collaboration, chasing answers to the unknown questions using tools to share information about the problems at stake and increasing personal productivity. Structured collaboration, sharing common knowledge, written rules, structured and set workflows that does not change. Unstructured, just like what it says. Well, we're in the corridors. Oh, I see people and I love it. You look at people in the organizations. I miss those days when it was, we were in offices and people were all running in the corridors and they say, oh, Catherine, I've been looking for you for the last week. Where have you been? Oh, I was away on this training. Oh, how was that training? You remember we're supposed to do this. We're supposed to do this. Unstructured, the corridors as we go. Structured collaboration, common knowledge, written rules. Now I need to look at the disciplinary process. And you go to the HR manual, you go to the content, and you find it is in page 84. Then you go and start reading, and does not change. So types of collaboration systems. Any question there? From the collaboration decision making, aims to improve the flow of information, and then better decision, value decision, collaboration system, sets of tools. And then we have the two types of collaboration systems, which is the unstructured and the structured. What happens in the structured collaboration? Which is the most used? Someone read for us.
I'll do.
Thank you.
Yeah, structured collaboration. Our focus here is on structured collaboration, as it is widely used in all sectors. Introspection of behavior and communication is encouraged by structured collaboration. It aims to increase the success of the organization as the team gets engaged in collaboration, a collaborative problem solving.
Yeah, thank you, Rosaline. So it's structured. So, and the importance of structured collaboration, why is it? Why is it necessary? Why is it necessary? Because we are all guided by one principle. We are all guided by one consequence. Let's say there will be any consequences. We are guided. There will be no consequence for Catherine, and there will be no the same thing that we are talking about. You met one type of consequence for Catherine, and you met out another consequence for Rosaline. No. We are all here. It makes us better place to be able to go within the flow of the system, because some of us, if we were left just to do what we love doing, we know that people will want supervision from time to time. People want to be held accountable, even if they want the autonomy and to be empowered, in organizations. But for us to be able to do that, for the people who are not able to do it, we must have a structured way of doing things in the organization. That doesn't mean that we stifle our agility and creativity, our creativity. It needs to be done in a way that we understand this is the policy. The policy says that let's all arrive at work at 8 o'clock. Let's all leave at 5, within that is what we're working. But even if you came in at 9, it is fine. We are not saying that 9 with reason. but not 9 every day, sitting in and saying, well, I have decided that my time is 9, and maybe 9, you should have done this work and you are late in doing it. Are we together? Okay. Positive aspects of structured collaboration. It is easy to organize. It is excellent for hierarchical structured organization. It increases proficiency. There is no contradiction in relation to information. All members of the team understand and acknowledge their position and act accordingly. Very traditional way of doing things. But we also know that it could have its own disadvantages. You know, positive aspect of structured collaboration. What are some of the limitations that could be faced in a structured collaboration process in an organization?
I would say maybe people or the team will not think outside the box. They'll just be following whatever that is written.
Exactly. Stifles, creativity and innovativeness. Yeah, thank you, Rosalind. Something else? Doesn't foster innovation. Someone else? Someone else? Another limitation of this. Okay. Thanks, Rosalind. We've already said it. It does not foster innovativeness. There is same workflow information with no variance at all. It can cause conflicts, you know, this is what, but if we did it this other way, it would still work. What does it mean? And then you say someone, oh, try in page 15 of the IT policy, that is what it says. And it's leading to the same thing. We just want it done differently. It is intended for a repetitive industry. It needs to be managed. It needs to be managed and supervised at all times, which people don't have for. So even as we see that it has a place because policies continue to play an important role in organizations, policies and procedures, for us to be able to collaborate and to get work done, we need also to see whether we can have unstructured collaboration, which everybody is excited. You know, it causes a bit of more excitement around it, but it also needs to be checked because some people can abuse it if they're not checked. So many organizations will still keep at the structured collaboration way, which has its limitation. So it's good to have a balance. What can we do? How can we balance it to make sure that agility, innovativeness, open communication, feedback, all those things that we want to see in organization is actually fostered. Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else with an input? With an input? Okay. Collaboration according to corporate culture. Someone would like to read for us? We are moving well. We are moving well. We still got some time to go.
Can I?
Yes.
Okay. Collaboration according to corporate cultures. In order to create a collaborative working environment, the employees need to be motivated and rewarded at times. Let us look at a small example. Structured collaboration will not gel with Google because it's very innovative and loaded with new ideas and challenging unanswered questions. There's no place for innovation in a structured collaboration because of the boundary of common knowledge. In contrary, structured collaboration will align well with a manufacturing company like MRF because a continuous workflow is critical to the organization's output.
Thanks, Paula. Excuse me. So we're just looking at collaboration according to corporate cultures. There are some cultures we all know that they are very agile and innovative. You know, people in the technology space, they're always churning out new technologies, and so having a structured collaborative way will not work in that kind of a culture. Think about the media, what do you call that industry? That advertising, what's the name we give that industry? The advertising industry. Is it? I'm lumping it up. Where they need to be creative, ads for clients, positioning brands, you know, positioning your organization, rebuilding it, rebranding it, and all that kind of stuff. They really need to be more collaborative. But think about a company like, think about the health sector, which we know that before someone goes to the ICU, no, not ICU, they go to theater. When you admitted in hospital, there are procedures which cannot be overlooked, and they must be followed. You know, like maybe they are going for an operation the following day, the food must be served within maybe 6 o'clock for them to make sure that they are prepared to go to theater. You get what I mean? They cannot miss oxygen, you know, in the theater. They must make sure that if the lights go off, the generator will come up. So there are some industry which they will be very structured within collaboration and those cultures. So I keep telling people, if you know that you're a very process-driven person and you struggle being flexible and agile, don't join organizations which have this kind of a culture because of their nature of their work, because it's going to drive you crazy. Look where you actually fit. And sometimes it's very true that we, depending on our passion, our competencies, our talents, we tend to excel in various industries, and some people tend to excel in various industries. So even when you look at a job and you say, this job, I love it, first find out what kind of a corporate culture is in that organization. Does it resonate with my values, with my beliefs? Is it going to stifle me? Will I go there and split hairs and stuff like that? So it's also very important as people. And even as we go back to organizations and the marketplace and say, how in my organization, do we have an unstructured collaboration culture, or do we have a structured one? And if we want to be a more agile organization to beat competition, we need to start blending those things, and culture takes a long time for us to be able to bring it to there, to be able to embed it in the organization. Any question there? I see many organizations having a hybrid one to accommodate everyone, because if we want to move faster, we just need to have a hybrid of both. Any question, any comment, any input there? Feel free to just give us your experience or your thoughts, your ideas. You don't have to agree with everything that we're talking about. Feel free to challenge. Okay, great. So let's look at leadership style, and then we can start winding down, and then we can start tomorrow on some of the real technical aspects of it. Leadership, what is leadership? We've been talking about it. What is leadership? What is leadership? Who's a great leader? Whom do you admire? When you think about leaders in the world, leaders at work, does the CEO inspire you? You know, people who set the pace and the direction, you know. Do we see that? Okay. Anyone? Leadership style. We look at the traditional leadership style and the collaborative leadership style around how it works. What are the advantages? What are the disadvantages? Okay, someone who has not read for us leadership style, collaborative leadership style. Someone, please feel free to unmute. Someone, just unmute.
I'll just go on, yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, collaborative leadership style is required to get efficient and effective results across boundaries. A collaborative leader builds good relations, solves problems, and constructively handles conflicts. In contrast, a traditional leader is more autocratic and takes absolute control over his team and never consults his team members while making decisions.
Thank you very much. Yeah, very, very true. You know, collaborative, just like the name suggests, you know, you collaborate. They are fresh. They are very approachable. They are very endearing. And you have to learn how to be a collaborative leader if you want to be successful in this way, because people have their flaws. You know, I won't be the same every day. You know, there's some good days, there's some bad days, but for me to recognize that those bad days, I still have to lead, I still have to show up, as we like to say it in the business world. But how do we make sure that consciously and deliberately I am actually coming across as a collaborative leader? And that is not really, it's not just the CEO or the president or whatever we call them in organizations. It's actually also the team, the person who is leading a team. You know, any leadership position that you have been given, you know, building good relationships. How do we do that? Asking people for their suggestions, solves problems, and as they come along, they could be technical problems, they could be personality problems, but we are solving them as they come. And the leader saying, I don't know everything. Can we discuss this so that we find a solution for it? So they're also vulnerable. In contrast, the traditional leader is more autocratic and takes absolute control. Never consults, you know, goes and makes decisions in this office and says, this is what's going to happen. I don't think they will be successful for a long time. I think it continues to fizzle out, maybe, or maybe I could be wrong. Or maybe that's what I would like to imagine, that everybody needs to be a collaborative leader, because we have seen what advantages collaboration can bring to an organization. So someone, collaborative leader versus traditional in the area of power. Power is sweet. Absolute power corrupts. Raw power, we shouldn't bring it to the office. We shouldn't bring it to the workplace. Okay. Someone? You can continue. Someone can read for us.
I can continue. Traditional leaders. Okay, let me start. Traditional versus collaborative power. Traditional leaders in the traditional corporate approach, the power is vested with one single authority. Power is in this old school corporate hierarchy is based on longevity and no priority of results. Collaborative leaders, the new approach of collaborative leader recognizes that power is most significant in a collective team. Collaborative leader allows solutions to develop from the best ideas of the group and take a team approach in problem solving.
Exactly. Thank you. So they do not have all the power. In fact, they cede power to their people. Take it, guys, run with it. Tell me how we can solve this one. But these traditional leaders, you know, one single authority. I'm the one who says it's my way or the highway. Okay. Information around the area of information. Someone else, or you can continue. Someone else. Please unmute. Quite a number of us here today. Traditional leaders consider access to information is power and maintain ownership of data as their hallmark. You remember those days of if I'm going on leave, you will not see me until I come back, is when you'll get all the information. They lock all the cabinets or sometimes even take the files home. Who are those? They share information on a need-to-know basis, and this allows traditional leaders to maintain authority and control, which is very unfortunate. Collaborative leaders in the area of of information. Collaborative leaders assume that sharing of information is the cornerstone of success. More the availability of cross-training, more will be the opportunities to develop and implement creative approaches to problem solving. You know, they're out there, share information, and of course, sharing, they exercise a lot of emotional intelligence because they share information that is right for sharing. If any information is not right for sharing and it's still confidential, they will keep it as such, okay? Someone else, traditional versus in idea generation. Someone else read for us, please, pretty quickly.
Traditional leaders do not entertain ideas or suggestions from their team members.
Oh, sorry.
Decisions are taken by top executives as information is closely guarded and withheld from team members. Collaborative leaders, the art of collaboration gives everyone on the team a voice. Collaborative leaders are generally open to suggestions or ideas from their team and recognize that brainstorming and different perspectives can bring unique insights.
Exactly, yeah. So these ones, they just think that they're the ones who will make all the decisions. They keep it very closely gadgeted to their chests. They are those ones who have very power suits on the corridor, and they go with it and they actually hide it. They carry their files like this. You see me carrying files like that, sorry, traditional leaders, you know. Everybody has a voice. Let's get the ideas going. And this is how we are going to be ahead of competition. And they bring a unique perspective. Everybody brings a unique perspective, and they do recognize that. No matter how mundane or silly or far-fetched these ideas are, we still can bring them, and maybe people think and say, that is what they said 2 years ago, and we never thought about it. They were ahead of their time. So let's implement that. It's a good time to implement. So never park all those ideas, no matter how far-fetched they are, and maybe they don't seem practical at this time, they will still be used. If people understand your strategy in a very simple form, you will still find an area of, I'm sure you have had organizations where someone said something 3 years ago, and they said, no, it can't happen. And all of a sudden it was time to do it. And you say, you know, James said that 3 years ago and we thought it was a joke, but now it is happening and we are happy to run with it and stuff. So never throw out those ideas, especially if you have an idea generation data bank that can be looked from time to time, informing your strategy. Pick them out and be able to run with it, and reward people for generating ideas that really bring profit to the business. Thank you. The next one, someone read. Someone read for us, please. Problem solving. Are we in problem solving? Yes, we are. Unmute and read.
Traditional leaders, in traditional corporate culture, team members are not allowed to participate and express their views. Solutions are generally delivered to team members. Collaborative leaders, in a collaborative environment, the power of group approach in problem solving is recognized. Solutions are brainstormed among team members and facilitated by management.
Very self-explanatory. Problem solving is a prerogative of the people in authority. This is how we work here. We will be able to solve this problem. Collaborative leaders, we take it to the people, we brainstorm and come up with the best solution for the organization. And around rules kill everyone, including me and you sometimes. However, in traditional leaders, what do? Someone else? One of the gentlemen, please read for us. Benjamin, Patrick. Anyone can read for us? Please feel free to unmute. Anyone? Okay, please continue, Paula. Is it Paula or Wanja?
Traditional leaders, there is a series of policies, rules, and regulations on which traditional corporate culture is relied on. Both the culture and hierarchy compile the managers and the team leaders to stick a specific set of roles and responsibilities. Collaborative leaders, a collaborative leader encourages superiors and subordinates to work together. All information, knowledge, skills, resources, and efforts are shared. This allows roles and responsibilities to evolve and fluctuate based on the greater good. Further responsibilities and power are distributed.
Okay. In under the rules spectrum of leadership in the collaborative aspect is that rules matter, but we will work within those rules to create responsibilities. You know, there's a rule, but I've been given responsibility. I feel good about it. Further responsibilities, power is evenly distributed. And most of the times you will find that these are very lean organizations in terms of their organizational structure. It doesn't mean, even if you have 100,000 people, you can still have a lean structure. Of course, you have many layers because 100,000 people, there are many departments, divisions, whatever it is. So you could have whatever, but it's not bloated. Everybody, the power is equally distributed from the CEO to the bottom people in the organization. So very lean in terms of ability to distribute the power and for people to be able to do that compared to the traditional. Then in the area of resolving issues, in traditional culture, issues are often solved by the individual without analyzing the root cause problem. It's my gut feeling. The problem has come. This is how I'm going to solve it. The manager seeks temporary solutions instead of instituting beneficial change that could prevent issues. You know, we are always firefighting compared to collaborative leaders. Team members are assigned with more responsibilities, while team leaders are more involved in process because trust is considered as a key pillar in collaborative leadership. These leaders analyze the root cause of the issue and address it promptly and keep the work moving forward efficiently. You remember where we said about sustainability and substance? This is what collaborative leaders do in the issue of resolving issues. And some issues can be heavy in the organization. Some issues can just emerge at one point, or some issues can be whatever far-fetched.
556Y.
Jen, do you mind muting so that we have one meeting? Jen, please mute. And then in the area of feedback, traditional leaders, most traditional corporations follow a system of semi-annual and annual appraisal feedback. Feedback is not given daily. Performance management, when we have an elaborate and an agile performance management system in the organization, we are talking every day. Catherine, you dropped the ball here. Yesterday, how you did that work was not you. You know, you took long, it wasn't of good quality, and feedback. I'm also soliciting for feedback as an employee. In the collaborative environment, both superiors and the subordinates are equally valued. They work closely on a daily basis. Instant feedback is given in this type of an environment. Wouldn't you like to work in this kind of environment? So we've seen really traditional way, and traditional leadership is, we are not saying about traditional styles. We are talking about traditional way of how people do some of the things around feedback, resolving issues, the rules that we have, problem solving, idea generation, information, and power. And what would happen if we use a more collaborative leadership style in these areas that really run organizations, because this is all we do in organizations. So very important. So where are you in terms of having more collaborative leadership style among everybody in the organization? Is that what you have, or there's some space for improvement in the organization? Okay. Anyone who would like to recap that? How they see it, what they have seen in the organization? Is it practical, or is it something that is far-fetched and we should actually just say, West make this seminar is not what it is? Okay. Thank you. That's okay, Jen. It happens. That's okay. Thanks. Anyone? In terms of what we have seen, anyone who would like to recap for us what we have said? Traditional versus collaboration. Is it something that can work? Is it something that we can take some of the points and run with them and say how it's going to be for us?
Okay, if I may. Yeah. Okay. Collaborative leadership is yes, it's doable. It's something that is, I think that is what we should currently maybe try to work on. Though most of the companies are pulled down by the traditions, because you have to, okay, despite maybe the leader bringing in maybe new ideas, then you're dragged down like, okay, the policy says this and that. And sometimes maybe the leader can say, okay, this is like insubordination. But then again, the team might say, okay, no, this is not insubordination because this is what the policy says. So I think there's still some conflicts on that. But we should really try to engage on the to get the, I believe, to get the goals and to get that success. I think we can really look forward on the collaborative more than the traditions.
Exactly. I totally agree. Yeah. Look more, make a decision to look more into the collaborative aspects of leadership in all these important areas of the business, and to see how quickly it can change our culture, our values, inform our business, become better people, and be able to look much more and people ahead of competition, especially, but even us as individuals to feel happier coming. You don't want to be a drag thinking, oh my gosh, I have to go to work. It's Friday here, and everybody counting down like a bad employee on Friday at 2, I can't wait. And then we think, oh, 2 days of freedom, as I'm looking for something else. You want people to be fully engaged as they work for you in the organization. And if they are going to move out, if they're going to go, they're going to separate from your organization, they've resigned, maybe they're actually telling you, I've found another job and this job is so important for me. I want to go, but allow me to go because I am going to learn more. And if there's another opportunity in the future, I will definitely come back. Okay, great. So skills and attitudes, which I'd like us to look at as we wind down, and also take a small survey around you as an individual. Are you able to collaborate? And then we continue tomorrow. Okay, someone who wants to read for us skills and attitudes under influencing, mediation, and engaging others. Agility, patience, and empathy. Those are the skills required for you to be extremely collaborative. Please unmute yourself.
Can I read?
Thank you.
Skills and attitudes. Mediation. One of the demanding skills of collaborative leaders is to address conflict constructively and effectively as soon as it arises. Expertise in handling conflicts and mediation skills are considered as a top priority.
Fantastic.
A complete understanding of the organizational culture and personality type of their team members is essential to share control and choose the best approach in influencing other team members. And then last one, engaging others. A successful collaborative leader has skills in networking and relationship building. This means communicating with clarity, managing high-stress situations, and involving other team members in decision-making at the right time. Thank you.
Thank you. You need to continue. Agility, patience, and empathy. You want to continue?
Okay, agility. Complex collaborative situations require a forward-looking attitude of mind, coupled with an ability to quickly assimilate facts and ask incisive questions and take necessary actions. And patience, managing relationships is not an easy task, and it takes time. Collaborative leaders should take a calm and measured approach in building and managing relationships. Empathy, a collaborative leader must be open-minded and should listen to the views of team members.
Fantastic. Very, very true. Okay. So very quickly, before we just call it a day, we want to check on some of the things, on are you a collaborative leader? So let me just go back so that quickly. So for you to be collaborative, these are some of the skills and competencies and attitudes that you will need to develop. Mediation is very key. Influencing others, influencing yourself, engaging others. You need to have agility, patience, and empathy, things that we're always discussing and we've been discussing from the very beginning. You can discover whether you are a collaborative leader or not by assessing yourself as you ask yourself the following questions. Are you part of a global network like CHRM, the society, or even IHRM? It's a network that helps you collaborate very closely with your peers and people in the same industry. Do you regularly blog or tweet employees about trends, ideas, and people you encounter outside the organization? How often do you meet with parties outside the organization who are not directly relevant to your immediate job demands or current operations? Are you on a group of any outside organizations, like let's say, of any outside organizations, like let's say the mediation body, which is very closely linked with HR. You get what I mean? Or a training organization that you know that training trends and some of the things that you need to learn that you can take back to your organization. How diverse is your immediate team in terms of nationality, gender, age, religion, in terms of diversity? How diverse is your team for you to be able to be considered as someone who is willing to collaborate and take collaboration to the next level? You can discover whether you are a collaborative leader or not by assessing yourself in the following questions further. Do members of your group have a joint responsibility beyond their individual goals? This is me. I know my work. I work in the HR department, and one of my main responsibility is training and development. But beyond that, do I understand what the other team members do? It is not just me in isolation. Does the compensation of your direct reports depend on any collective goals or reflect any collective responsibilities and duties? You know, how do we really look at us as a group who are able to bring the talents and the work that needs to be done on the table, but how do you compensate each one of us? Does it really show collective collaboration? Of course, I will have my own salary, which is equal pay, equal work. You know, that is important. But when there is bound for us to work in a project, how do you actually compensate us as a group? Do you think someone else should be compensated more in this project compared to others when all of us were involved and our work was clear cut out for each one of us? What specifically have you done to eradicate power struggles within your group? Have you done that? Do your reports have both performance and learning goals? A collaborative leader to be able to show how strong you are in team collaboration and providing leadership to your teams. Yeah. Further, you can discover whether you are a collaborative leader or not by assessing yourself on the following questions. Do you manage dynamically, forming and dispersing teams quickly as the situations arises? You know, you form a team, there's a crisis, you address the crisis, and then after that, disband the team. Do the right people in your company know they can close a discussion and make a decision, or they have to wait for you? You know, we have an opportunity to sell 1 million biros this afternoon, but because the boss has not given us the opportunity to sign off this purchase order, we cannot do it. And for the million biros we are selling today, we need to give a 5% discount. Oh my God, 5% discount cannot be given until the boss has said that we can give the 5% discount. Have we empowered people to be able to make such decisions for their organization? Does your group debate ideas vigorously, but then unite behind the decisions made? You know, we can have different decisions and then we come and say, oh, this one really is the best decision for us, and unite. Even if there was one person who was so averse to this decision, they can come and say, for the greater good, I totally agree with it, and let's go ahead and I will rally behind it. Even if it does not fail, if it does not succeed, you cannot come and say and point big fingers. I told you guys it's not going to work. You still come and say, well, it was not successful. How do we forge ahead to be able to move forward and learn from it? Yeah. So are you a collaborative leader in the area of empowering your team to make decisions in terms of bringing your team together, and your attitude towards how you yourself as an individual, whom are you collaborating with? What teams and groups do you belong to? How is your learning as a person for you as an individual, and also from a team perspective? I would like us to end it there and give you homework of time to reflect of whether you are a collaborative leader in those three aspects. And now I open the webinar to questions and to any questions. Tomorrow we will start off with the rest of the topics around risk management, conflict management, change management, and also some of the planning challenges that we have as we collaborate. Any question? Was it impactful? Was it?
Catherine, sorry,
Yeah.
I was a bit late.
Yeah.
Could you just highlight the management techniques that were mentioned in the beginning?
Management techniques that were mentioned in the beginning. Okay. Someone would like to mention for us management techniques that we can use to achieve collaboration, the ones that we mentioned. Let me throw it to the team to see whether they can recap for us. Thank you for that question. Someone? There were nice ones where we say, yeah, management techniques. Someone, please knock it out for us.
Hello. We mentioned training and development.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also organizing team building events.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah. There were many more. Management techniques, unpacking the strategy to the simplest form, open communication, fair compensation, you know, agility of the organization to be able to get to the next stage. So some of the management techniques that they can use to achieve collaboration in the organization, you know, making sure that people understand their roles and responsibility. Performance management was one of the management techniques that they can use to achieve collaboration. Okay, great.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Yeah. Another question? Input, was it useful? Anything else that you would like to add? Anything else that you would like to add? Anyone? Okay. Question? Very informative. Thank you, Eunice. Okay, great. So if there is no...
I can say something.
Yes, Jane.
Yes, I from everything I'm learning, a very good session, by the way. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
From what I'm learning, I'm realizing that collaborative leadership, that is the way to go even for the companies.
Yeah.
Because one thing that I'm seeing, it's a very good technique to put a succession plan into place.
Yeah.
Because the company will always have people to take over, because there's no hoarding of leadership, there's no hoarding of positions. You're given opportunity to grow, you're given opportunity to develop. So there's, it's just one thing that I'm realizing, that for organizations, it could be the way to go. Thank you.
Yeah, it's the way to go, collaboration, management in terms of putting it in and making sure that it has substance, and at the same time it is sustainable, because then everybody owns it. You know, there's no one who can say that I can claim it that I am the only one who works in this organization. I have more power than the rest of you because I'm in the C-suite. It needs to, it's bottom up, top bottom. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah.
Catherine, let me also end by thanking you for the informative session. It was a collaborative management. I think it's a way to go in all organizations, both private and public.
Yeah.
And it's an area that we need to bring in, especially to our core values. And mostly we've been saying team building. Now we can say collaborative management, because it is like you involve from top bottom, and also from the bottom. I don't know whether it will go bottom up or it is top to the bottom.
It's both ways.
It's both ways. So thank you very much for that. We will see you tomorrow again for the next session.
Thank you very much. Yeah. And thank you all for the chats in terms of very detailed. Thank you very much. And I keep on saying, apart from us networking and having sharing experiences, if you're taking CHRP, some of these sessions that some of these webinars from ACHRP, really just it's part of the syllabus, that exams that you're going to do, the experiences. So when you're going to school, you're just tying it. You know, you are ready for the exam, bring it on. I want to go and I want to achieve and get it done. So I hope to see you tomorrow. Thank you for being very, very engaging. No doubt about it. Just sharing your experiences and unmuting and reading so that I'm not the one doing all the talking. It's nice to have a different feel of, you see, collaboration of the leader saying, well, take the mantle and run with it. So I always appreciate that. So I wish you a good rest of the day. And I hope that I will see all of you tomorrow as we recap. And also I'd like you to think through around the area of who are you? Are you really a good collaborative leader? When you think about it, and then we can come and recap it tomorrow and see where you have fallen short and what you're going to do about it. So for me, see you tomorrow. Have a good rest of the day and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Catherine. See you tomorrow.
You're welcome. Yeah, see you tomorrow. Thank you, everyone.